And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in a very noisy place. A place that looks a lot like a port. And I am in a port. We're in the port of Cologne. Today is shipping day. We are leaving Central America, North America. We are headed to South America. I couldn't be more excited, although it is a little stressful. In our side door, we have our kayaks inside the van, which makes it a little harder for anyone to be able to get in here and do anything. Most of our cabinets now are virtually empty. All of our storage space, the front of the cab. Here's what the back looks like. All the doors will be locked with our Thunderbolt deadbolt locks, except the driver's door. George is here with us as well. He's done all the same things to his van. We have removed our license plates because we hear that those make awesome souvenirs for people.
Man, we are looking pretty, but I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit hectic and stressful here at the port.
Well, I've shipped to Europe and back once, and I shipped to North Africa, but this makes me really nervous.
Fingers crossed, everybody. The adventure continues, I'll just put it that way. We have dropped off our van at the port. It's going to be loaded onto a RORO ship very soon, and we are going to be going to Colombia. And I couldn't be more excited. Tonight, we're going to stay here in this hostel, which we have a room booked here because we have our rental car that is down here, a Toyota Land Cruiser. But this is going to be our jumping off point because right down the road, about 20 minutes, is the marina, where tomorrow we're meeting up with another boat. And this boat is going to take us all the way to Colombia.
So by far the biggest challenge that we have had on shipping our van has been the fact that we are not allowed to ship our lithium batteries with the van. What we have done is figured out another way to transport the batteries, and now we are wrapping them up, getting them waterproof and ready for their next adventure from Panama to Colombia.
Here's one of our beloved batteries getting a raincoat. It's exactly like wrapping a Christmas present.
Now, why on earth would you worry about our batteries getting wet? That's kind of weird.
There's a lot of water between here and Colombia. We have shipped our vehicles to Europe and back, and when we did that trip, we didn't have lithium batteries, but batteries weren't even something that was discussed with the shipping companies. Same as we did to Europe, same as we're going to do to Colombia. We used a RORO ship to ship our van. Basically, it goes in a giant ship that looks like a parking garage, and this is how all the new cars come from Europe or America to all around the world. And it's just a big floating parking garage that's going to take our van to Colombia. Well, about a month ago, we had learned that a couple of RORO ships had sunk, and it was attributed to lithium-ion batteries catching on fire. Well, our van has 5 lithium-ion batteries on it that power our whole adventure, that allow me to do the video work that you guys are enjoying on YouTube. And we had a lot of lithium, so they said we could either basically leave our batteries on the side of the port and abandon them and buy new ones on the other side, which is incredibly costly, and that would be a really tough pill for us to swallow. Our batteries could go in a container that would be marked as hazardous cargo, and it would go on a separate ship, separate from our vehicle. And maybe it would take less time, maybe it would take more time, it would just depend, but it would definitely, the two probably would not coincide and arrive at the port at the same time or leave at the same time. So we didn't know what we were going to do. It was a big problem, and we were talking to a bunch of other overlanders who were suffering the same thing. Some of them didn't even know it was a problem yet, and they already had shipping dates booked. We're here. Our ship has sailed, our RORO ship, and here are our batteries in the back of this rental car. And I am securing them, I'm taping them up, I'm trying to make them waterproof because we figured out a really interesting way to get them there. We are on our way to Colombia. And no, we are not driving this Land Cruiser to Colombia. We are taking another vehicle, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
Okay, we got to get all the stuff out of here, including our over 200 pounds of batteries, into this wheelbarrow. All right, let's take these. We'll be back for more. All right, you might ask, why am I wearing 3 hats? Well, let's see, there's all 3 of them. It is hot, and we have been ferrying loads down here to the Gitanita. This is the sailboat that we are gonna be on going to Colombia. We are taking a sailing tour that's gonna help us get our batteries there. This is gonna be awesome. And then I guess we're pushing off sometime tonight around midnight, and we're gonna wake up in a very special place tomorrow morning. So here we go. Panama to Colombia on the Gitanita sailboat.
Bye, Peter. Travel safe.
An update on Jorge. Jorge is taking one for the team. He is gonna hang out here until our vans get on the ship, and then he is gonna fly to Colombia, and we're gonna meet him there. So he's in charge of vans, we're in charge of batteries, and we're a great team as
Hopefully
always.
we come back together at some point.
Oh, I hope so. So,
All right.
see you in Colombia.
Adios. Smooth sailing.
All right, so batteries are on board. They're being stowed right now under the kind of the dinette bench seat. I think that's gonna be a beautifully dry and safe place to keep them. All right, so goodbye, mainland Panama. We are headed to the San Blas Islands. We're bringing you guys with us. And we're gonna go on a sailing adventure that is very different from what we normally do in the van, but it also has a lot of similarities too. Hang on, take your Dramamine. We're about to push off. It is a rainy morning, but we are here on the deck of the boat, covered by the bimini top, and we are headed to the San Blas Islands, to our first island of the day. It's kind of cloudy. The seas are pretty calm. We're bobbing around a little bit. This is pretty exciting. It is a little drizzly right now, but the temps are nice and cool, and boy, we have found a tropical paradise here. This is gonna be fun. This is definitely off the beaten path for the van life crowd. It's pretty cool when you get on a boat and go those other places that we normally wouldn't be able to visit. All right, we've sailed all night, and we've made it to our first island in the San Blas Islands. It is a beautiful tropical paradise, coconut palms everywhere, and locals living in little tiny buildings on the island, and there's tons of sailboats everywhere, just anchored all over this place. This seems to be a mecca for sailors. There's warm water, beautiful islands to explore. It's a great place. I can see why they like it here. We made it ashore. We rode the dinghy because Kathy's ankle is still freshly healing where she sliced it open in Panama City. This island is incredible. Locals are selling these, boy, they're almost like quilts, but we just bought one and we're gonna make it into a pillow. It's gonna be a wonderful souvenir from our time in the San Blas Islands. Now, we bought it from a local lady. She lives in this cabin right now, and she said that they are on this island for 3 months, and then when the seasons change, they move to other islands and they basically follow the tourists, and they go wherever the tourist boats are going that are best for the season, and they sell coconuts and these woven and stitched things, and this is how they make their living, is living from island to island to island. And that's kind of neat. They aren't stuck on one island. They're kind of nomadic, and they move around based on where the tourists go. And the little kids are running around here just playing and having what seems like a wonderful time, and I can't imagine what it would be like to be a child and grow up on your own little island in the middle of the Caribbean. Pretty amazing. Our boat is anchored right up over here, and some people swam in, some people rode the dinghy in, but everyone is exploring this island. So this afternoon, we're gonna leave this island and go to another one and have the opportunity to explore it as well. Now, if you do come here, you can rent one of these cabanas on the beach. They're pretty basic, but they do have a power outlet, a couple of mattresses, there's some pillows, and you could stay here too for as long as you want. I think we're gonna be happy staying on the sailboat because we get to move around and be nomadic just like we're used to and get to really see this beautiful place. There's over 365 islands in the San Blas Islands. So we have a lot of ground to cover, and we're not gonna come near close to scratching the surface, but we wanna see as much as we can. Boy, it is a beautiful place. I can't believe this is a place that I only know a handful of people who have ever been here. If this was closer to the USA, this would be like the Florida Keys times 1,000. And it's just amazing that you can pay $750, go on a 5-day sailing trip that we're doing, and get to experience these types of places. I sure hope that the camera is showing you the color of this water. It is just so blue, it's just glowing, it is beautiful. We're walking the perimeter of the island on the beach, and there's just dugout canoes all over the place. But the locals are out fishing from these canoes. They catch lobsters and conchs, and we're seeing them throwing throw nets. So this is very much a fishing culture here. These guys are making their living from the sea, not only from fish, but from the tourists who come from the sea. He's here bending rebar that he's going to use to make the concrete reinforcements for this cabana. And he's saying he can build one in 3 days from scratch. Okay, we are on the island of Nug-Nudub right here. It is pretty much a tropical paradise, full of coconut palms, green grass. It's very manicured, very beautiful. And right behind me here is our ship. But we're gonna have a dinner here tonight on the island. We're gonna see, I think we're having fresh fish. It should be really great. So I'm looking forward to this. And check out this sunset. It is gonna be epic tonight. What a good dinner. Awesome. Well, it's another beautiful day here in the Caribbean in the San Blas Islands. We have just pushed off and we're headed towards our next island. I think breakfast will be served soon. And we'll see what today has in store for us. I think it's gonna be good. Well, it is a nice calm day today, and that means that we aren't gonna be sailing under the sails. We are gonna be using the motor to get us to where we need to go. So it's a give and take, right? Like we have nice smooth conditions and it makes for an easy passage. No one's gonna get seasick or any of that. Makes it great for sleeping at night because the boat is almost totally still like you're on land. But it would be nice to be able to put the sails up and go somewhere under wind. So whatever, it is what it is. Maybe we'll still get a chance. The crew says that this time of year is one of their favorite times of year for conditions as far as being able to hang out at the islands and it being really nice. But the downside is that there's not a lot of wind. Very calm, and they end up motoring a lot. I really don't care either way, you know. It's awesome just to be out here and to see these islands and these people that live on these islands. It's been really cool. So however we get there, we'll be fine. But maybe it would be neat if we could pop the sails up one day. All right, let's see where the crew takes us now. We're off to another island. Supposedly today has some really good snorkeling. So that'd be fun.
We are here in the San Blas Islands at White Salalu, and this is supposed to be the best snorkeling of the entire trip. Cannot wait to get in and see what's under the water. That was fun.
Well, we just discovered this hole in the ground, and I'm wondering if this is where the locals get their fresh water from. Doesn't seem that awesome, does it? All right, we are here on our last island in the San Blas Islands. This was a beautiful little island. Honestly, I don't even know its name. And we came ashore and we were told that there are showers here. There's Starlink here. There's a workout gym. There's a restaurant. And honestly, the thing I was the most keyed in on was the shower, because I am just covered in sweat and salt, and a freshwater shower sounds amazing. So I want to show you what we've got here to work with. So when we got to the village, we asked a local man about the showers, and he brought us over here. And there is basically a blue barrel that is dug into the ground, and then Kathy has a bucket with a rope on it. And you're gonna basically lower this into the blue barrel, which it has, somehow it gets fresh water from the ground in it. It must be perforated or something. And you fill up the bucket.
I'm gonna come over here to where the actual showering facility is. This is our shower bucket. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. It's a little bit sulfury, but at least it's not salty.
Okay, everybody, we're here in a pretty cool little beach cabana bar, and they also serve food here. But look at the ceiling of this place. Isn't this cool? That's all the flags from the different ships that I guess wanted to leave them. There's a place over here where there's a bar, and it's half over the water, half over the beach. This is very unexpected, and it feels really good and cool here. We just took our shower, and we're sitting here kind of half wet, but enjoying ice cold water. Kathy has a pineapple juice drink here, and we are feeling good here in the shade with a little breeze blowing through. It's a nice break from the heat. Well, this is our last night in the San Blas Islands on the sailboat. We will be leaving tonight at about 10 p.m. and we have about a 24 to 36 hour cruise to get to Colombia. We're going to Cartagena. That is where we'll meet up with our van. And so the next 24 hours, we're just going to be just moving, no stopping to see islands, no fun stuff. It's just going to be pure transportation, get there kind of thing. We should arrive in Cartagena after about 24 to 36 hours of motoring. Now, if we do get some wind, we'll be able to put the sail up. That'll be super cool, but it's not the windy season, it's the rainy season. And so we'll see. Chances, I think, are kind of slim that we're gonna put the sail up, but you never know. But the San Blas Islands have been amazing. It has been a wonderful journey and a way to connect the Pan American Highway from the north portion to the south portion. I feel like I should talk to you guys a minute about why we're here and explain this a little in more detail. We are shipping our vans, George's and ours, across the Darien Gap, which means there is no road from Panama to Colombia. You cannot drive there. The roads do not connect, even though there is the famous Pan American Highway that goes from North America to South America. There is a 60-mile gap in the middle where there is no road. The only way to get there is to either fly your vehicle, put it on a boat. And so we chose to put it on a boat, which was a RORO ship, which means roll on, roll off. This is a specialized ship that is designed to carry vehicles over the ocean. This is how many of the vehicles come from the US going to Europe, and Europe going to the US, and all over the world, including Central and South America. Typically, this is full of new vehicles that are getting transported places, but you can book a spot on there for a private vehicle to move it around the world. And this is what we did when we went to Europe in 2019, and now we're doing it again on a very short passage. And it only takes 24 hours for it to go from Panama down to Colombia. So it's a relatively quick trip, although there are 3 or 4 days on each end with the vehicle in the port that's being ready to load and unload. So while it is a 24-hour voyage, it does take about a week by the time you factor in the time that you need to drop the vehicle off at the port and then to receive it on the other side. We had an issue getting our lithium-ion batteries across this. Now, typically in the past, overland travelers just ship their batteries in their vehicle, and it's not even a question. But there has recently been some fires caused by lithium-ion batteries on the RORO ships, and sounds like they're mostly with homemade built lithium-ion batteries or used lithium-ion batteries coming from people like us who have installed these power systems in their vans. Now, ours is professionally done through Winnebago, and they've got electrical engineers that certify the whole thing, and it's a major process that they go through. But there's a lot of people who have just kind of put together their own systems, and it seems like some of those are exploding or catching on fire or having major meltdowns. So this has led to the shipping companies cracking down on this, and they're like, anyone who has lithium-ion batteries on board a used vehicle can't bring them on board. And it's just that cut and dry right now. So we were hit with this about a month and a half ago. We found out that this was going to be an issue, and we've been kind of fretting this ever since, trying to figure out what are we going to do, because we've got to have our batteries go with us. It's an integral part of our van, and doing this YouTube channel and everything from turning on the lights to the fan to running my computer to be able to edit videos for you guys. It's all based around having these batteries. So we looked at a few options, and the option we thought we were going to do was shipping them in a container. We would try to find another overland traveler who was putting a vehicle in a container and see if we could pay a little bit to allow them to ride with them. All the containers are booked by shipping brokers, and the shipping brokers were telling us they wanted $300 to get our batteries in the container. Now, I don't know if that's the shipping broker saying that or if that was the shipping company that was coming up with the $300 number. Regardless, we have 5 batteries, so that was going to be a pretty expensive way to get our batteries across, and we weren't really excited about that. Although if that was the only way, that's probably what we would have done. And then we started trying to think outside the box, and a lot of the motorcycle travelers will put their motorcycles on sailboats and use the sailboat to cross them and their motorcycle around the Darien Gap. And we always thought that sounded great, to take a sailboat, get to see more of the country and some really remote places that we couldn't drive to. But you know, typically with a van or a more of an overland vehicle, you're stuck flying. But in this case, we had George's van and our van, and it allowed us to kind of tag team this. So George hung back at the shipping yard to make sure there was no hiccups there with the vans, and we took the batteries on the sailboat. He's going to watch the vans and make sure that they're all loaded up, which we've gotten notice that they are going on the ship right now as we speak. They'll ship out tonight sometime. And then once he has that, he is going to fly tomorrow morning, I assume, to Cartagena. It's a short flight. And then he'll get a hotel room and he'll be there waiting for us to arrive. We'll get there about a day after George gets there, and he'll come and pick us up at the marina with a rental car, and we'll load all the batteries into that, and we'll use that to then get the batteries from the sailboat to our van once the van arrives. Now, if everything arrives as planned, which doesn't always do that when you're shipping things internationally, but if it does, we should have our van on Friday or Monday. And then we just got to install our batteries again, and we are back to heading southbound. I know a lot of you guys are going to ask about the cost of this shipping process. Now, just shipping the vans with insurance is $5,200 from the port in Colón, Panama, down to Cartagena, Colombia. That is a lot of money. For reference, we shipped our vans to Europe and back for about $1,500 to $1,800 each leg. So prices have gone up since COVID. It's more than that now. But this is a very expensive way to get a vehicle around the Darien Gap. I mean, it's literally 60 miles that you can't drive, and it's going to cost us $5,200 plus all the incidental expenses like taking a sailboat and hotels and rental cars and all that to get around this 60-mile gap. Now, we think it's going to be worth it. We're very excited to see so many things down there, but our timing is a little bad in that it is so costly right now since the pandemic, and since, I don't know, there's a lot of factors, it seems, at play that have made this leg from Panama to Colombia so expensive. That's where we are. That's what we're going to do. And it hurts, but we're going to get through it. And then we're going to be eating a lot of rice and beans for the next couple of months to get back on track financially. But we will be southbound in Colombia, and that is going to be awesome. So if you guys have more questions, and I'm sure this video is going to drum up a ton of questions and things that I'm forgetting to mention right now, ask me down below, or even better, consider joining our Patreon. Patrons get extra special attention as far as getting questions answered. I try to answer most questions, but sometimes there's just not time to get through them all. Patreon is the place where I will answer everyone's questions and in as much detail as they want to know about it. All right, video is not over. We're going to Colombia.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Can't see it.
Hermano, ojo,
Son
una fiera.
Tranquilo, hermano.
Oh, it's huge.
Vea lo que se canse.
Está muy abajo.
Oh, wow. Tranquilo que ese se va a morir hoy. No, hermano, suavito un poquito. Tranquilo que se...
Ahora. ¡Ey, ahora! Está bien enganchado. Duro, duro. Duro. Vamos, que ayúdalo. Se soltó.
¡Ganamos! ¡El más grande de la flota!
This just got the biggest.
Is this a big one, yeah?
Oh, ew.
I was like, I'll wash it.
I'll wash it.
Yeah, that's okay. What is this?
Rum, kill it.
Pásame agua, man. Vamos a subirlo.
Look at my smile.
How many times in your life have you caught a tuna this size?
This is the first time I caught a tuna like of this size in this boat.
Oh.
This is, also this one is the bigger one in the whole fleet. So we're another record.
Good.
Another record.
That was an incredible battle. Well done.
They said it. 200 pounds. Ahí no hay otro.
Isaac, can you
Yeah. The last mountains of Panama are disappearing over the horizon of the Caribbean Ocean, and we're way out here. We probably have over 24 hours still before we get to Cartagena. The water is so blue out here, and not like the Caribbean turquoisey glowing blue. It is the rich, deep, dark blue of deep water. The captain and the crew just caught probably a 250-pound tuna that they brought aboard, and they're getting ready to fillet it and try to squeeze it into the freezer. He said that they are just gonna, basically we're gonna eat all the food that's in the freezer right now. It's all worth it for this tuna. It's so different being out here in the middle of nowhere, really. But we've got Cartagena, Colombia at our bow, Panama at our stern, and we're off to the next adventure on the next continent. Well, it might not look like it, but we are in Colombia. Colombian waters, at least, that is. We aren't to shore yet. We've still got hours to go. We're gonna get there late at night, or really even early tomorrow morning, but feels good. This has been really interesting being out here in the open seas. Can't see land in either direction for most of the day today, and that's been a really interesting feeling. The seas are very calm, with just these rolling swells that, you know, we rise and fall about a meter and a half, and it's been kind of fun. It feels like you're on just a gentle roller coaster. In fact, here comes one right now. But we caught a tuna today. We've just had an amazing day just hanging out on the boat. It's been very relaxing and just peaceful. But as you can see, the sun is setting. This is our first sunset in South America, and tomorrow we're going to be at the port, and George tells us through our Garmin inReach that the vans are going to arrive there at 10:30 tonight. They're actually going to beat us to Cartagena, which is going to be super nice to know that they're there in the morning. So far this wild scheme where we've gotten a sailboat to take our batteries across the Darien Gap, since they couldn't go on the RORO ship, has worked out beautifully. What an awesome time we've had on this trip with the guys from the Gitanita and the bluesailing.net, I believe it is the company that helps them book these trips. This crew always works this boat, the La Gitanita, and these guys are top notch. They've fed us well. They've shown us some beautiful places here in the San Blas Islands, and we're just so grateful to have gotten to know these guys. And tomorrow is going to be very different. We're back into the big city, back into logistics, and trying to figure out how to get our vans back in our possession. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really means a lot. It does help our channel grow. And also, if you want to take a deeper dive into the world of Famagogo, check out our Patreon. Link is right here. Patrons, thank you guys so much for your support. We really couldn't do this without you. And that's it from the Caribbean Ocean with no land in sight. Till next time, I hope I see you somewhere over the horizon. And it's right over there. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.